Yeah, welcome back. We're talking with Shirley Smothers, and she works for the Harrison High Schools?
Harrison School District.
Harrison School District,
yes.
Yeah.
High school and all.
K through 12th grade.
There we go. Cover it all.
I cover
Makes
it
your
all
job
and everything else.
There you go. And then we're talking about love and logic parenting.
Yes.
Which is what?
That's a paradox almost.
Well, I guess it was 5 years ago when I first started working for the district, we was teaching a parenting curriculum, and I was teaching the curriculum with Elaine Fulton Jones, the prevention resource specialist, and from NAFE, and we was teaching this class together, and we really wasn't getting the results that we wanted. We wasn't getting real good feedback. It was just the curriculum that I had been gifted with, and so she and I decided to look into something different, and we came up with Love and Logic. There was a training in Little Rock, and Elaine went to that, and then she brought the information back. And her and I both traveled out to Denver, Colorado, and received certification to teach this class. And it has been phenomenal. I mean, it is an awesome parenting class. I can't say enough about it. I work with teachers, counselors, principals, counseling agencies, DHS, lawyers, the court system, everyone in town. And we receive a lot of referrals from all the different agencies in town. Parents, they suggest that they try parenting classes, for one reason or another.
Right.
And I also work with a lot of parents in the district one-on-one, and we'll be talking about problems that, that they may be experiencing with their child, and I make a suggestion that they try the parenting class. And I always tell parents, and I think this is very important, that just because you're taking a parenting class does not mean that you are a bad parent.
Exactly.
And I can't stress that enough, because when I first started taking the class, my youngest was 16 years of age, and I was like, oh, I should have had this a long time ago, because the first thing that at that point I was dealing with, let's break our curfew, and so I used Love and Logic on her, and it worked out excellent. So
Well, can you give us an idea of
little
what Love and
insight
Logic
there, yeah.
is? Because I'm lost.
Well, it is. It's like parenting with love and being real logical about it. It's about teaching your children about consequences at a very young age, to experience natural consequences and allowing this so that when they get older, they learn to think about the consequences of a bad decision instead of waiting. As you get older, consequences become more expensive. The child that wrecks the car as opposed to the child that doesn't get to play basketball because he forgot his basketball suit at home. And, just for instance, one of the things in the training that we might teach is, the child will call and, at the younger level and, oh, I forgot my ball suit. Will you bring it?
Instead of bailing them out, you allow them to
that's a natural
suffer those
consequence. And the next time, guess what? They will probably think about that suit themselves. You're teaching them to think. And I think it's very important that we teach our children to think ahead, because, if you don't, you're going to get the 18-year-old that cannot think about what will happen if I do this.
Right.
And we do a pre-test, post-test in the class, and at the post-test, we have never had a negative remark about the parenting class, and I think that's awesome. It's a pretty extensive pre and post test, and we just ask them, get feedback, because we want to monitor how we are doing in this class, and how it's helping our families. And I'll be somewhere out in public, and I'll have one of the previous parenting class attendees say, hey, I got to tell you about what happened. And, it's pretty funny. The first class, everyone's kind of, and they kind of stand back. But by the end of the class, they're like, yes. And we empower them to want to, to be a better parent. We give them a tool to work with. And, we also tell them, we're not saying this is the way to do it, but this is one of the tools that you can put in your toolbox and pull out when you need to use it. You can adapt it to your particular child. We have parents that, their children are ADD, oppositional defiant disorder, and the list goes on. And this particular curriculum you can adjust to work with a lot of different children with disabilities as well as your regular child. So it's very adaptable. They have a catalog that goes with this curriculum, and all the resources in this curriculum is like $5, $10, $15, $20, and they can order video, DVDs, audio, books that go along with the curriculum. And we teach this class 4 times a year. We taught it last year 5 times, 6 weeks at a time.
6 weeks.
And we will be starting our next class on February the 7th at 4:30. It goes from 4:30 to 5:45 at the Duran Center in the First Federal Room. And this class is sponsored. It's a real partnership between NAFI and the Harrison School District. And for the last 2 years, it has been supported by a grant through my program, which is the McKinney-Vento program.
Okay.
And so what this allows us to do is for the first 15 parents that attend the class and come to all 6 classes, and the first 15 to register receive a $50 Walmart gift card.
Good, yeah.
So that helps with child care, gas money,
Right.
And it works out really, really well. And if they're interested in attending the class, the next one starts February 7th, they can call me at 577-5635, or they
Okay.
can contact Robin Musner at 391-3252. He works for the college, and so that's where they can register
Okay.
for this class.
Now, is there a cost associated with this class?
There is an $8 book fee, and that is it. Normally, this class, like in Colorado, it's, you know, a majority of the state of Colorado teach this course, and they do it a lot through the school districts up there. And they charge $135 to $200 for the class.
So
we
very
offer it
minimal.
free. Yes, and this is really a wonderful class to take. It's a lot of fun. We interact with the parents, and we don't put them on the spot. They don't have to read. They don't have to do homework. It's video based, and we've had several parents say, "Oh, I want to take this class again. When's your next class start?" And we've had people repeat the class.
Wow.
And this is, I think, my 5th year to teach this curriculum, and no, 4th. And every 6 weeks, I learn something different. And I'm able to take what I learned from working with the parents that come to the class, plus teaching the class to help my families. You know, a lot of times something comes up, and we talk. My solution is most generally love and logic based. So it really helps me.
Wow, that sounds very beneficial.
It really is, and it's a lot of fun. It's a, you know, and also parenting class is a protective factor for child abuse. That is one of the things I recommend to help eliminate child abuse is parenting classes, because parents can be real frustrated and they don't know. And parents come to me and they'll bring me a problem and they're like, I just don't know what to do. I have no clue what to do. So,
Well, I'm sure the love and logic philosophy kind of bridges over into everyday life too.
Oh, it does. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
I tell people, you know, we suggest they come if they have kids 2 years of age on up, and you can use it on adults.
Okay, well there.
And I'm not kidding.
A little psychology
Yes,
going on there.
And it teaches you a different way of thinking.
Yeah.
It's it brings out that logical part of you that sometimes we push aside, and
Right.
and really, truly, it makes
Yeah.
you think deeper. And I know I handle situations in adulthood that differently than I did before.
And I
Love
bet
and
you're
Logic.
not affected emotionally by a bad situation as you
no.
would normally be.
No, I
because you
learned-
have that tool there.
Right, and I think the most important thing, and I tell every class this, that I have learned is I do not make fast decisions. I teach them it's okay to say, I don't know what I'm going to do about this, but I'm going to have to do something. And then step back out, and that child knows that you're going to be thinking about it, but yet you didn't make a snap decision, you didn't get angry. It teaches you, and I do that now. If something's brought to me, sometimes I'll say, I don't have a solution for that right now, but let me think about it. And that's the best
And they'd
thing.
say, darn, I didn't get her
I
this
know,
time.
and I do. I've learned not to say, oh, well, let's just do.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
taught me to step back and think about it.
Here's $20, leave me alone.
Yeah.
That's not the answer.
That was
anymore.
not the
That's
answer.
not the
Sorry.
answer. The classes start
February
February
7th
February 7th. Okay.
at
And-
4:30
6 weeks.
and
for
for
6 weeks.
For the first 50 people, did you say?
15
people. Okay.
Okay.
And
They
they
get
have
it.
to attend all 6 classes.
Okay.
And they get 1 card per family.
And we
Okay.
had a phone number up there, and it didn't jive with any of the numbers that you gave us. I think the last 2 numbers were 391.
They
That
can
was
call.
Robin
Yeah, they can call that number, but the
Okay.
number actually to the direct person is 391-3252, or my
3252.
phone number is 577-5635.
Okay.
Or they can call. I think there's a 741-7600 extension 2263, which is my office phone, but I'm never in my office. So if you
Okay.
want to talk to me, call me on my
All
cell.
Okay.
Well, Shirley, thanks
Thank
a lot.
you,
That's
Shirley.
great
Thank you.
information. Thanks for filling up that time. That's a great that's a
Great
really
program
good
for sure.
Program for sure. Yeah, it is.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
I'm glad to talk about my program.
Cool.
Good. Come back and
Well,
talk
take
about
advantage
more.
of that. If you're having trouble with parenting and you just want to learn more, you could even use it in everyday life. That's the way I understand
You bet.
it.
It's fun.
Everything's great when you can change your life for the better.
You bet.
Let's take our last break, and when we come back, we'll be entertained with some music by Rick and Jordan Whitmer. Stay with us.